my God, you guys, I just quantum shifted yet again. I do the same exact quantum shift every single year for the past 3 years in a row. And I honestly should not be telling you this because the email that I got was like, don't tell anyone, but they say that every single year. And you know what? I literally do not give a damn because this is a prime example of the kind of energy and frequency that you can tap into too. It's literally not as woo-woo as you think. Yes, it's magical and woo-woo and spiritual, but it's not as intangible as you think. And I'm just sharing this lovely, juicy, activating energy with you today because I know that you can do it. I know that you can do it. And I'm no one special. I promise you, I was born with the same bones. I was born with 2 eyes. I am no different than you are. The only difference is that I put my practices and what I preach into practice, essentially. I put what I preach into practice and I stay consistent and I do it every single day. And in this particular case, I do it every single year. And so some of you who already know me and who've been with me for a while, you probably already know what's coming because it's that time of year where I usually always say, oh my God, something big just happened in my life. And it surprises me every time. And at this point, it shouldn't. And I'll tell you guys what it is in a second, but just let me build up to it, okay? Let me just go ahead and literally lead you up into this mountain. So every single year, my friends and my family say, oh yeah, it's in the bag. It's in the bag. You got it, duh. And I'm just yes, I know. I know. And I still have not necessarily doubt, but I feel like I just still have the full acceptance of the spectrum of, okay, it can happen, but okay, it could also not happen. And finding that balance of neutrality, because neutrality is something that I always teach you guys. I always say it's good to have that narrow perspective of the neutrality and sit there and live there so that you can have the non-attachment to what it is that you are actually desiring and wanting to go after in your life. And because I am able to do that every single year, I make it and I get in. And so I'm going to tell you in the next one. I'm going to send this one and tell you in the next one. My workshop got chosen to be hosted at Electric Forest, a music festival that happens every single year that hosts, drum roll please, 70,000 people. Are you listening to this? 70,000 people show up to this music festival every single year, and hundreds flock to the workshops. Oh my God, it's crazy. And literally there is this woman, and I'm going to mark this day. It's, April 3rd, 2025. I mark this day. There is this woman who goes to the Electric Forest Festival every single year, and she does yoga, and she gets to be on the big stages, the biggest stage. They don't let anyone on the stage unless you're a musical artist, but every single year she gets to be on this stage for at least 2 days out of the music festival, and she does yoga for everybody there. And it's the biggest stage that there is at the music festival. There's about 6 to 8 different stages at this music festival, and she goes on the biggest stage every single time and hosts her yoga workshop. And so the workshops that everybody else gets to go to, including me, is in something called a brainery. So it's in a tent. It's a huge tent, though. It's massive. Hundreds of people can go in under this tent for one workshop. And that's where everyone else goes. But I promise you and I guarantee you guys that I'm going to quantum shift one day, 1 year, into getting into that big stage as well, just like that other woman, just because I simply desire it. And I know that I would kill it when I'm on stage, because that is the level of reality that I'm commanding from the universe, that I'm commanding from my existence, that I'm commanding from my lifestyle. It's how I hold myself. It's how I talk about myself. It's how I treat myself. It is where I see myself going. And for now, I'm going to use every single workshop that I ever get into for this music festival as leverage to hop into that bigger stage, because I know that my day and my time is coming. So I'm going to break down to you exactly what I receive when I get into these workshops, the bonuses and the perks and everything that comes with just hosting the workshop. Because it's not just hosting the workshop, okay, I submitted a workshop and I got picked. No, this is literally crazy, the amount that I receive just by being able to go into this Electric Forest Festival through the workshops, through someone who is hosting an actual event. So by hosting a workshop at the Electric Forest Festival this year, I get completely free admission to the entirety of the festival. And I believe it's 4 days straight. Sometimes you can get early arrival and do like a whole 6 days, and I still will be getting early arrival as well, but I believe that the early arrival they're giving me is for the full 4 days. So I have full 4 days of camping, of listening to music, of having fun, of living my wildest life, of meeting so many new souls and new people, activating everybody that I come into contact with, literally just like vibing at my highest form that I can possibly think of. 4 days of that for completely free. I get a spot where I can put my tent, put my little kitchen tent, because I like glamp. I love glamping. If you know me, actually, I don't even talk about this enough, but I love camping. I love glamping. And space for my car. Okay. I get a meal ticket so that I'm able to eat the day for free that I'm hosting the actual workshop. And if you haven't never been to a forest or like a festival before in your whole entire life, like those prices, they jack those prices up for just like a burger. I think I got chicken tenders and fries one day for like $18, like no drink. Like that is literally what they charge, like bare minimum. You can like just expect to like be charged at least $20 for any single thing that you get there. Okay. Then on top of that, I'm able to bring a friend completely for free. Completely for free. Just to put this into perspective for you guys, if you get your ticket like really early, like you're on like the private email list because you've been to the Electric Forest before, so like they have your email, they have your information, and they like send you, okay, the forest is gonna open in like 6 months from now. You still have to pay like minimum $500, and I'm not even talking about tax and stuff and other fees and all of that, like minimum $500, okay? The very first time that I ever went to Electric Forest, I had someone else buy my ticket for me, and it was after the early bird special, and there was no payment plan. I just had to put it all on a credit card. It was over $800. Over $800 I paid for my very first festival to go to Electric Forest, and I literally didn't even have the money at that time to like just go and take it out of my like debit card. I had to put it on a credit card and like work my way to pay it off. And that was just the ticket alone. Like, we're not even talking about the groceries. We're not even talking about the meals that I had to get there. We're not even talking about the outfits. We're not talking about like anything that I had. And I didn't host a workshop that first year. That first year, I saw a workshop and I said, wait a second, you can host workshops here? Like, music festivals aren't just about like literally getting effed up, which I don't do that, but like getting effed up and like going listening to music with your friends and like having a good time and like not even sleeping and like just raging out for like 6 days straight. Like, I didn't know that they actually had self-improvement classes and workshops and events and different things that you can actually experience there. So I'm gonna send this one and tell you my story. This is my little story of how I experienced my first workshop there and the quantum shift that I made within myself to be able for the next following 3 years in a row to get selected for a workshop myself. So when you go to the Electric Forest Music Festival, you can download the app and it gives you an itinerary of everything, of all the sets, of all the musicians, where they're going to be. It gives you a whole entire map of the festival itself, so you know where you're going, you know where you're walking to, you see all of the shops, and then you see, of course, the itinerary for the workshops and the events, and it's in something called the Brainery, which I've mentioned before. And so at this time, I'm like looking at all the workshops and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is like sound bowl healing. There's like manifestation workshops. There's like, of course, other workshops for like dancing or like creating jewelry and things like that too. But of course, I was obsessed with the fact that there was like a spiritual component to this music festival that I had no idea existed before. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And mind you guys, like I first attended the festival 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So imagine this. I knew about this music festival when I was 15 years old. When I was 15 years old. It took me over 10 years to finally manifest me going to this music festival and having enough money to like afford going there and having like people to go with so I wasn't alone, and like people who actually like to go to music festivals, so it's not like you're stuck with people who like are just gonna shit on you the whole entire time. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to like even like a group travel thing where it's like you don't really know what the vibes are gonna be because the people that you're going with. But after 10 years of manifesting this, I paid $800 to be in this fucking music festival, and I got there. And so I'm going to this workshop, and I remember it was just like a sound healing workshop. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And mind you, at this point, I'm already a couple years deep into like my Reiki certification and my shamanic apprenticeship. I've already been on TikTok for a little bit of time here too. Like, I think I had already had over 1 million followers at this point. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm experiencing it. And I've been through many different like healing workshops before. And I don't want this to come off like pretentious or egotistical, because I know that you can all relate. Like, especially if you're a professional and you're an expert in something and you go and see someone else do their own thing, it's completely non-judgment. Like, they were killing it, they were doing their thing, but at the same time, I was just sitting there the whole time, like looking at this practitioner, like, I could go up here and I could do the same exact thing. You know, like, I looked at it as inspiration. And like, there was times where, you know, they were like messing up a little bit, which is normal and natural. This is live, right? Again, like, there's no judgment, but I did see that, like, I just had this feeling like I could go up there and I could do it better. And it was no hate to the practitioner. Like, it's all love here, truly. But I just knew deep in my heart and in my soul, and like what I was witnessing was like, wait a second, like, I can do so much better like than what I'm witnessing and than what I'm experiencing right now. And I can go so much deeper and I can hit so much harder and I can make so much more of an impact and influence. And I would, oh my God, eat this up. And I'm like sitting here like absorbing the healing and I'm like getting all these downloads and codes and like I'm feeling activated. I'm getting like fired up. I'm like, wait a second, like, I could be up there. Why am I not up there? How the hell do I get up there? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I need to be up there with everybody else. Like, I need to be up there and I need to be up there now. Like, how is this possible? I'm like, okay, well, maybe she knows someone. Like, I had no idea how you get here. Like, I have no idea. I was like, you got to know somebody, you got to network, you have to probably like be in a relationship with like somebody, like a friendship, or like dating somebody who organizes this kind of thing. And so there was a question and answer component at the very end of this person's masterclass or workshop. And someone was like, oh, how many times have you been to Electric Forest? And she's like, this is my first forest. And I'm like, wait a second, like, not only are you here like doing this workshop, but this is your first time at this forest, like at this festival in general. I was bewildered. I was like so confused, because I was so sure that she just had like a shoe-in because she knew somebody, or that she's been here multiple times and so she knew exactly who to talk to, how to get into that space. She's like, no, like, I made a submission and I got to come here and la 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 la. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going and talking to my friends who've been to this music festival tons of times. They're like, yeah, you can actually make a submission for the workshop. You can make a submission for any part of this festival that you want to be a part of, and you'll get free admission. And I was like, free admission? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I just spent $800 on this freaking ticket, and you're telling me that there was a way that I could have had free admission? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this next year. And they're like, great. Like, they make the submission forms open a couple months before you actually get selected and before the music festival starts, so that you have a couple months to prepare and everything like that. Just know exactly what you want to submit for your workshop, and then you're good. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is my dream. Like, there's a reason I was feeling activated. And I hope that when you're listening to this, you're not just like going along for the joyride with me. Like, I hope that you are. I hope that you're on this like roller coaster of a story time with me. But I also hope that you're picking up on the clues, because this is the quantum shift. Like, I'm not telling you a step-by-step 1, 2, 3 how to, like, really super rigid way of quantum shifting or shifting your identity. But I am giving you the subtle clues and subtle like subtext of exactly what I did. I told you, I saw something with my eyes. I felt so driven and so compelled to be a part of it that my insides were literally like burning. Like, my soul got on fire. Like, it just really caught on fire. And I said, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Like, it was just so surefire. I was so confident. There was honestly no doubt in my mind. Not at this point. Okay. There was a point, but not at this point. I was so truly inspired, and I was like, okay, yes, 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 yes. And I made a little reminder on my phone. I was like, the second that this festival is over, I'm going to do everything that I can to ask the right questions, to get into the same rooms as the people who know all the answers. Like, I'm going to do everything that I possibly can. And so the festival ends, la, 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 life goes on. And now, because I have been a part of the Electric Forest Festival, I get the emails, and I had already followed everyone on Instagram and things like that. So now it's a couple months. I think this is 2022, because I believe I entered the forest for the first time 2021. So now this is 2022, a couple years ago. And I get an email saying, plug into the Brainery workshop. And I was like, oh, now is my time. Like, I felt it. I was like, now is my time. And I really didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I just knew that I could go up there and do anything that I freaking wanted. And I'm such like a winger. Like I wing a lot of stuff in my life, and I've been so much better at it now. But like naturally, I've just always been so good at winging it, like going up on stage, flapping my gums, like making an impact. Like I know that was my strong suit. So to me, it mattered less what I was actually going to do up there. I just wanted to get up there and do what I could. And like, of course, like this is such a novice way of thinking about it, but I was so ready. I was so prepared. I was so activated, and I was waiting months for this as well. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, like I can bring a friend. I can bring a friend, because you can have up to 2 assistants, which means that I could literally bring 2 more people into the Electric Forest Festival for free, for freaking free. Like it's literally, it still boggles my mind. And I've already done this 3 times. So it'll be we'll do the Electric Forest in total 4 times this year, but it'll be my 3rd time hosting. Okay. So with that, I see the submission form and it says you can submit up to 6 different times. And I was like, I'm going to submit up to 6 different times. I was like, why in the world would I do anything less? And that's another breadcrumb, that's another clue. While everyone else is doing less, I'm doing more constantly. While everyone else is putting a little boring, like 1-sentence submission, I'm going all out. And they say, oh, you can only do up to 1,500 characters. I'm going to go up to 1,500 characters. They say, oh, you can only do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, you need credentials? I'm going to give you all the credentials that I possibly have. I'm going to show you all of my social accounts. I'm going to show you videos. I'm going to show you things that you've never seen before. I'm going to show you my certificates, my degrees, like everything that you need. I'm going to boom, like it's right there. And not only am I going to submit 1 workshop, I'm going to submit 6. And if you pick all 6, then I'll just be working every single day, and then I'll catch the music later. Like I was so activated and so turned on. So when I submitted it, I was like, yes, this is great. This is everything I've ever wanted. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then guess what happened? In that moment where I was just so excited, and I finally hit click and like send, and I was like, yes, like rage on, like we're so ready to go. Boom, it happened. The doubt. It's always like this, isn't it? Why? Why are we like this as humans? Because naturally, our brains are pretty prehistoric in a sense. Like, love them, super grateful for my brain and my mind, but they are a little bit prehistoric in some senses, and they are programmed and conditioned to look for things that are fearful, right? Look for things that are dangerous. Look for things that could kill us. Look for things that are unsafe, because the brain is always going to want to try and protect. That's the ego as well. Okay. So that's the ego self trying to protect, trying to make sure that you're not expanding so far, that you're trying to like reach the sun and then get burned, right? The higher self, the spirit self, the one that wishes to expand, was like, yes, fly close to the sun and go, and then like burn just as bright and become your own sun. But the ego in between that kind of beautiful expansion and uplifting energy says, oh, wait, but all these bad things can happen to you. And so that's what happened to me. I was floating, I was feeling high vibe, I was feeling so good. I hit submit, and then boom, I'm like, oh my God, what if I just got so excited? What if I just submitted 6 different entries and I'm not even going to be able to even get selected for 1? Like, what if they don't even like what I do? What if everything that I just submitted, they're not even looking for? What if I would have myself to death for a couple hours that day? And I talked to all my friends. Hey, I just submitted this. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go for free, la. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, sure. Like, we're excited, but like, there's a possibility it can't happen. So like, let's still make sure that we're saving like for a couple months, and like, let's make sure that this, and like, I don't know if I'll even be able to make it, like all of these things. And they're like, no, you're going to make it. Like, tell me why everybody in my life knew that I was going to make this except for me. And they're like, girl, you have like 1 million followers on your social media. Like, you keep blowing up. Like, you make impacts on this world. Like, you know, when you speak, everyone listens. When you walk into a room, everyone looks at you. Like, please, like, how can you not see that you're going to make this? I was like, I don't know. What if they literally just go in a different direction? And they're like, no. So I'm sitting here like fighting my friends at this point, like trying to argue why I'm not worthy or why this can't happen for me. And they're just trying to like have me see my own light again. And I just really couldn't. So I'm sitting there, and for the next couple like weeks, because it takes a couple weeks, it takes like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks, depending on when you submit to, because like they were like, you have a 2 to 3 week period or window where you can make the submission, and then we'll select you afterwards. And I saw that email, and on the same day I made the submission. Like, again, when everyone else is asleep, I'm fully awake. When everyone else is dragging their feet, I'm going and I'm doing the damn thing. Like, as soon as possible. I'm like, you're going to see my submission, and you're going to see my submission first. And so I had to wait like a really, really, really long time compared to someone else who would have submitted like way after, right? And so I'm like waiting, and I'm going through these fluctuations of, okay, I'm going to make it. It's going to be amazing. And oh, but it's okay if it doesn't. Oh, I'm going to make this. And I cannot wait. And like, they're going to choose this one. And this is the one that I really want to do. And it's going to be on this day, and I can see myself up there. And then I'm like, okay, but if it also doesn't happen, like I have to also plan around this. And so I was like, you know what? Like, girl, get it together. Like, get it together. Like, splash water on your face, like pinch yourself. You are going to make this work for yourself. And so what I did was I took a screenshot of the largest stage, the stage that I told you that the other girl goes on, but like nobody else does except for the musical artists. I took a picture of that stage, I ripped it from Google, and then I put a picture of me doing Reiki on there. So I just took a screenshot of one of my Reiki videos that I post on here on TikTok, and I put it like, and I squeezed it, and I like, it makes me laugh so hard. I like vision boarded it, and I like squeezed it into the stage, and so it looks like I'm giving Reiki to like a huge crowd of thousands of people on this one big ass stage. And I saved it, downloaded it, and I put it as my wallpaper on my phone. And for the months leading up to Electric Forest, that was my wallpaper, and I still have it now. Oh my gosh, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find it. I hope I didn't delete it. I don't think that I did. But I'm gonna find it now. I'm so sorry. I'm just like super activated today. Like, I hope that this like rubs off on you, and then you can quantum leap and quantum shift and get everything that you want to. But I have a photo, and I'm going to put it into this chat so that you can see it when I'm done telling my story, and you can see how like I was doing a little bit of a vision board to help myself out with this. And I'm someone, I don't vision board. I have never vision boarded in my whole entire life except for this one moment, and that was still like the first and the last time I've ever vision boarded for myself ever. I do like other things to manifest, but vision boarding has never been one of them. But regardless, I did for this day. I did for this occasion. And on my birthday, 2022, May 2nd, I got an email that says, your workshop has been selected. And I was over the moon. I was so happy. Things are high vibe. And I was like, yes, I did it. And you know what? When I take that whole entire experience and I look back on it, and it happens every single year I make the submission, in my body, I feel 10 times more excited than I do nervous. I feel 10 times more excited than I do nervous. And if I ever do feel nervous, I shift it into excitement, because it's actually very easy to shift from the nervousness and anxiety to excitement, because they're very similar feelings in the body, but it's really just a perspective shift. It's an identity shift that helps you bridge that gap between one to the other. It feels like there's fire inside of my body. It feels like things are just super activated. It feels like I've got electricity like going and pulsing through my heart, and I can feel it in my fingertips, and it's just like a full body like climax. Honestly, it just feels so good in the body, and I just let myself stew in it, and I let myself sit there, and I'm like, yes, like this feeling feels so good. Like I cannot wait. Like I can imagine myself on stage, and when I'm on stage, like I'm gonna feel just as ecstatic, and I'm gonna like project, because I'm a human design projector. I'm like, I'm gonna project all of this beautiful energy onto the crowd, and like all these things. And mind you, even with all of this excitement, I had envisioned like 20 people maximum showing up to the workshop. Like I'm so it sounds ridiculous, because like when I do Reiki and I do my mentorship and I'm online and my socials, like I literally have right now over 1 million followers on TikTok. I have right now, I think like 28,000 on Instagram. I have right now almost 53,000 on YouTube. Like I'm so used to large crowds. My background as an actor and a dancer, I used to perform in front of large crowds. So that was always like normal for me. But for this workshop, I only thought there was going to be like 20 people, because I didn't know that between 2021 and 2022 that they were going to rearrange how they hosted the Brainery workshop. Okay. So when I first went there 2021, I saw that one practitioner. I said, I feel alive. I'm going to do this next year. The space was really kind of small. Like maybe you can fit like 40-ish people there pretty comfortably, and that's if everyone's sitting down on the benches and a couple people are standing up like way in the back, and like there's really no room for movement. Okay, so I was like, all right, there'll probably be like 20 people, and I'm like, everyone wants to come to a music festival to jam out, and like they sleep in late, and my workshop was going to be in the morning time on one of the first days of the festival, while like the whole entire festival like isn't even there yet, right? So I'm thinking there's only going to be like 20 people that are there. Well, lo and behold, the universe works in mysterious ways. I am going there for the first time, I'm going there for the first time this year in 2022. I finally make it. And they're like, okay, like be ready like 30 minutes beforehand. And I'm like, I'm so ready. Like my outfit's on, my hair is braided, my jewelry's on, my makeup's on, all my tools that I'm using are smoke cleansed, and I'm feeling like so good. I'm grabbing my friend, she's about to record me, and we're walking up. And then it's this huge like canopy like tent thing, and it's like hanging all around. And people are eating, because like in this spot there's a whole bunch of vendors, there's a whole bunch of shops, there's a whole bunch of benches for people to chill, hang out, chit chat. It's not the actual like forest itself, like you'd have to go into the gate and then get into the forest. This is like a main street, like a strip, like think of like a Las Vegas strip, like just one huge strip of like a whole bunch of vendors and stuff like that, and where you can eat and buy stuff. And so right smack dab in the middle, so huge, so long, is the Brainery. Now it's transformed from a place that can fit like 40 people maximum to a place that can fit a couple hundred people. If you're really packed there and it's like outside of the canopy itself, easily a couple hundred people, okay? And so I'm walking up to the little canopy Brainery workshop stage. And as I'm going up to the stage, I'm looking around, and people have their yoga mats rolled out, and people are kind of like eating on the edges, and people are like talking amongst themselves, looking around, just chilling, hanging out. And of course, it's so hot. It's like the dead of summer. It's like the end of June. So it's the dead of summer. The sun is beating down on everyone. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So the sun is like really, really out. And we're not in the forest yet. So there's absolutely no trees. It's just like straight land. So there's nothing to cover anybody. So I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, okay, like these people have to probably clear out before I get on the stage, because they're just eating, they're just socializing. Some people are just kind of doing like a little bit of yoga. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe the people who brought their mats, they are actually here for the workshop. Like, I don't really know, but I'm thinking these people have to clear out in order for me to host the workshop, so the people who are coming to the workshop can come, right? Because I'm 30 minutes early. I'm 30 minutes early to my own workshop. So I'm seeing all these people like, oh yeah, they got to clear out. And so I'm talking to people who are hosting the event, and someone looks at me, and then they just kind of give me a smile, like, and I don't know who they are. They're just somebody who's just like waiting there. They're just like, give me like a little smile, like I should know them, or I should expect something. Like, I was kind of confused, and I turn around and the people are like hooking me up to the microphone and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, is there going to be an announcement like that I'm going up on stage right now? Like, so the people can like move and clear out space. And then she's like, these are the people. These are the people that are waiting for you to go on stage. And I was like, what? And she's like, these are the people who are waiting for you to go on stage right now. Like, they all came here for you. I'm like, they're this early? And they're like, yeah, like this happens all the time. And they're waiting for you. They've been waiting for you for a long time. And I was like, oh, what? And I kid you not, guys. I kid you not. I was looking around. There is at least 125 people when I first started. But by the time that I ended, there was probably close to 200 people. Or at least, because there's people who come in and come out and all those. There's at least 200 people that saw me in my workshop. I thought there was going to be 20. I was like, 20 will be a nice little packed, like, you know, we can all get to share our vibes and share our experiences. I was like, there's no time for that. I have to go upstairs and I have to lead all these people through a whole entire guided meditation where I'm grounding them to the electric forest so they can release their anxiety and their stress, and they have no social anxiety, and they're not feeling drained, and they're not feeling like they've got, you know, to go to the emergency tent because they have such high anxiety because of all the people around them. And these people are empaths, and they got to like feel strong, and they got to feel secure, and their energy has to be protected, and they got to feel safe when they're in the forest, and they got to feel like, oh, I'm here to have a good time, not I'm here to fucking have a panic attack because so many people are here. Like, I got things to do. Like, this isn't 20 people, this is like 200 people. And I was like, bet. I was like, I am so ready for this. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I took charge, and there is a video, you can find it. There's a video way down below from a couple years back of me hosting the workshop, and you'll see it because it's all orange. It's like all orange. I'm even wearing orange, like a two-piece, like orange, like flowy outfit. And I was like, bet, I'm so ready. I had no idea. And I realized that the person who was smiling at me was like smiling at me because she knew I was a presenter. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, like someone's here. Like, and there was a couple people who already knew me. There was a couple people who already knew me from online that were there. And then people who I did, like, I hosted a whole entire workshop. It was great. If you want another story time on that, like, we can do that. This is just not that kind of story time. But if you want to, just like let me know, send me a DM and be like, hey, I really liked what you were saying in that story time the one time about you quantum shifting and quantum leaping to be able to host this event and workshop in an area or festival that had over 70,000 people. But right now, it's just about the quantum shifting that I even got into the room in the first place, right? And then I got up onto the stage. I killed it, absolutely killed it. And I got Reiki students from there. I got actual clients from there. People were hugging me, taking pictures with me. People were like thanking me. People were giving me gifts. Somebody gave me a necklace, which I still have, which I still love. And they were just like giving me all these things and giving me all this energy. And they're like, thank you so much. Like, I haven't cried in so long, or thank you so much. Like, I didn't know this about my energy. And now that I do, I can move forward and like feel super strong and super resilient and feel like my energy is protected in like chaotic environments. And I was like, oh my God, like this is what I was meant to do, born to do. And I already knew that, but I had just felt it so ingrained because guess what, guys? That was the very first workshop I had ever hosted in my whole entire life in person. The first one. And that shit, basically, no one paid me a ticket to be there. It was like a free workshop, but it was basically sold out. It was packed. And so I've already talked your ears off all day today. So I'm going to cut it here. But the last thing that I want to really bring forth into this conversation and into this story time is that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So what is it that you are going to quantum shift into today, this week, this month, this year? Who is it that you're willing to become? Who is it that you always known that you were born to be? And can you be her now? Can you be here today? Can you not wait to become her? Can you not put your life on pause to become her? Can you just do it? Can you do it, do it, do it, do it, do it? You don't need 500 million steps to quantum shift. You just need to see something that you like. Feel happy about it in your heart and in your soul. Take the necessary actions to get you into the room, to get you into that place, to get you in front of the right people. And do the damn thing. And do the damn thing. I watch a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra because those are my favorite TV shows of all time. And in The Legend of Korra, there's this one like science genius. He's like literally like a mad scientific genius and an engineer and an inventor, creator. And he is literally so smart and so creative and so innovative that he has an extremely loyal assistant. Her name is Julie. And every single time he is about to like have a great brainstorm or he needs something done, he always goes to Julie. And he always says something to her. He always says, Julie, do the thing. And it's not even discussed what the thing is ever. Like, he says that about, like, honestly, like 25 plus times throughout the whole entire series. And he's always like, Julie, do the thing. And it's like they have this telepathy where it's like they always know. They always know what the thing is, and she's always getting it right. She's always getting it right. And it's amazing. And every single time she does the thing, something amazing fucking happens right afterwards. And it's like you just weren't expecting it as a viewer. And you're like, oh my God, like, you just did the thing. Where can you do the thing in your life? Where can you do the thing in your life? And where can you do the thing now? Where can you do the thing today? Like, please, like, why are you waiting? Like, I'm almost mad at you. But I'm not. I love you so much. I love and care for you so much, so deeply, that I want you to do the thing in your life every single day. And I want you to start now. I want you to start now. And a couple weeks ago, I did the thing. And I made my submissions. And again, I went through the same exact thing. I was so happy and so excited. And I said, ugh, do you think that they're really going to choose me a third time in a row? Like maybe they said, oh, this girl, she's always, why would I think that? But I did. This girl, she's always making her submissions. She's always submitting 6 times. She's always overdoing it. Maybe she's overcomplicating this. Maybe she's already had her time to shine, and so we should give it to somebody who hasn't hosted a workshop with us yet. Maybe we should reserve this for somebody else who just hasn't experienced it. She's already got it twice. What makes her deserving of having it a 3rd time? Me. It's me. It's me. And every single time I go out there, I do the thing. And I'm great. They're probably looking forward to me every single year to host another workshop. Like, oh, I bet Mystique Awakening's coming again. And if she is, we'll make sure to save a spot for her. Which one of the 6 submissions that she's going to give us do we really want this time? And maybe next year it'll be 2. Maybe this year. You know what? I have a hunch. I have a secret little hunch. I have a little hunch that this year they're going to ask me to do 2 workshops. I have a secret little hunch that somebody is not going to be able to make it and they're going to have to cancel, and they're going to have an hour left open, and they're going to want to fill it because people are going to be waiting. And they're going to ask me, hey, do you have capacity or the energy or another workshop in your back pocket that you can host and fill in this time slot? I'm going to say yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'll be there and I'll do it. And I have that feeling in my heart and in my bones because I desire it. It's what I want. It's what I know I can do. I know I can do the thing. I know I can do the thing. And so I share all of this with you today to not only vibrate high with me and use my example and the energy that I'm projecting out to you, and you can just reach your hand up. You can reach your cosmic, divine, energetic hand up and touch the potency of this activation and vibration that I'm giving to you right now, so that you can feel the essence of what it's like to actually quantum shift, to actually shift into the reality that was always yours to experience, and then do something incredible with it. Live that lifestyle you've always known that you were supposed to. And when you're ready to really do the thing in your life and quantum shift, identity shift, collapse these timelines, get what it is that you want, when you're really ready and you're needing just a little bit more refinement, you're needing just more activation, you're wanting to get into the room with other people who are just as high vibe, who are activating themselves, lighting themselves up from within, they're setting their souls on fire, they're really reaching for that next level, they're really reaching for that breakthrough, and then actually succeeding in that breakthrough to where that breakthrough and that next level then seems like an autopilot standard. It's their inner standard. They have inner certainty that that is the experience that they're looking forward to living every single day, and then they have a new level that they want to reach. When you're ready for that, that's when I want to see you inside the Quantum Receiver Masterclass. That, or if you want to just really shortcut your way all the way to success, sign up for the Fierce Awakening Mastermind. We get started April 16th, Wednesday, April 16th. It's a 3-month mastermind where you get to be in the rooms with the right people who will elevate you, who will expand you, who will highlight some of the gaps that you have between where you are right now and where it is that you're going. All of the patterns that you have that are keeping you playing small, all the patterns that you have that you are leaning into your ego more than your higher self, more than your spirit, more than moving forward, you're moving backwards. You know that feeling when you're making 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards? There's no more of that. Maybe it's 1 step backwards, but it's only to just get more leverage, more backing, more momentum for you to take 15, 20 steps forward, because we're collapsing these timelines together. That's what we are doing. There's no more second guessing yourself. There's no more resistances holding you back. There's no more abandoning yourself. There's no more you not keeping your word. It's just, I see it, I want it. What's that Ariana Grande song? She's my favorite. Just like Avatar is my favorite, Ariana Grande is my favorite. I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. That's exactly what I did. I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. That is what I did, and that's what you can do too. Get yourself inside the room. Stop playing yourself. Do the thing. I'm going to leave both of these links down below so you can join the free Quantum Receiver Masterclass and for you to also join in before we actually get started April 16th for the Fierce Awakening Mastermind. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.